Blind spots. Blind spots to me are absolutely fascinating in the way they exist in our consciousness. And we've all got them. And what I find so completely fascinating about them is that, say someone's pointing to one of my blind spots. They're going, hey, Sam, this is something that you can't see and it's causing a problem. Maybe it's causing a problem for you, Sam, or it's causing a problem for me, the person who's pointing it out to you. But it's causing a problem and you need to be able to see it. It's going to make your life and my life much better if you could start to understand what you're not seeing. And the chances are that when someone does that with me, I'm going to look at them and go, well, I can see you, but I've got no idea what you're pointing to. I literally cannot see anything there. So I'm then probably a little exasperated, maybe a little frustrated. Maybe I think they're the stupid one. Maybe I think they're being overly critical. Maybe I think they're being obstructive or something like that. I'm not able to see what they're seeing, and I probably get frustrated with them. Now, there's maybe a longer story about why can't we see our blind spots, but in short, I would say it's something to do with our own defensiveness. That thing is showing us something that we don't want to look at because it's uncomfortable in some way. It challenges some sense of our identity in some way. The challenge I really want to offer here is not so much how do you give someone the feedback about their blind spot. That's maybe a conversation for another day. But rather, how do you as a leader, how do we as leaders make ourselves more available to that kind of feedback from people on our team, from our peers? It's unlikely that team members are going to try and point to your blind spot as a leader, especially if you stand above them in the organization, because they're putting themselves in quite significant jeopardy by doing that, because they know that you probably can't see what they're pointing to, and all you're going to feel is frustrated by the fact that they're pointing to it. So how do we then as leaders make ourselves more available to that kind of feedback? Because wouldn't it be great to see our blind spots? Wouldn't it be great to be able to resolve them, to make life easier for ourselves and for the people around us, the people on our team? Well, I'm going to suggest that the best way we can do that, or one of the best ways we can do that, is to really establish ourselves in what I always refer to as that greater reality of who we are. Because the greater reality of who we are exists beyond whatever's going on around us. We tend to navigate the world being kind of buffeted or subject to all the things that are occurring in our world. But there is a greater reality of self that exists independently of all of that. And the more that we can identify with that, the more that we can exist in that awareness that we are independent of whatever's occurring in our world. And that'll tend to make us far less positioned in relation to whatever anyone is challenging us with. It's much easier to embrace other people's challenge because we're no longer so positioned. We're no longer needing to defend ourselves, defend our identity, defend our stance. And so if we can associate with and identify with that greater reality of self, that's actually something that's entirely positive in nature, so it's a wonderful thing to be identified with, we actually become much more able to engage with those blind spots, to have that veil drop, and to really be quite pleased when someone goes, hey Sam, this thing that you're not seeing, it would be great if you could see it. I've got a much better chance then of being able to go, oh yeah, you're so right. How did I not see that before? Thank you for bringing it to my attention.